So before Battle of Gods, Resurrection F, and now Dragon Ball Super, there was barely any new Dragon Ball content to keep the fandom satisfied. This led to the creation of a variety of fan-made stories, and while these are in no way related to any of the new material we are getting now, a lot of these have a unique insight as to how the fans saw the world of Dragon Ball and how they would have expanded upon it. All credit for these story/manga panels goes to their respective authors. Dragon Ball Multiverse is a fan-made manga that takes place after the end of Dragon Ball Z. In this adaptation, instead of there being the traditional 12 universes, there are now in fact 20. The general story of Dragon Ball Multiverse is a universal tournament between all 20 universes. And unlike the tournament style that we are getting in Dragon Ball Super, all universes in Dragon Ball Multiverse are alternate versions of themselves. So basically, it showcases universes that we are unfamiliar with. For example, there's a universe where Majin Buu absorbed Goku and Vegeta, and even a universe where Vegeta never defused. Taking out the next spot, we have Dragon Ball Multiverse's Gastcar Cole. One of the most interesting universes in Dragon Ball Multiverse is Universe 7. What happens is on this story, while Frieza was on Namek, there was no intervention from Vegeta or any of the other Z fighters. Therefore, in order to combat Frieza, all the Namekians on planet Namek fused into one being. Once this form was achieved, Frieza stood little to no chance in battle and was eventually killed. While it is unknown what happened to Goku or any of the others, it is said that the same Namekian defeated both Cell and Majin Buu in battle. Moving on to the final Dragon Ball Multiverse story, this one rewrites the first Broly movie. In this version, the Z fighters do not give their energy directly to Goku, but instead, Goku actually forms a spirit bomb, therefore making Broly collide with Comet Komori. In this adaptation, that is how they managed to survive their first encounter with Broly. One of the most well-known fan creations, Zycor from Toy Ball's Dragon Ball AF, is the unofficial third son of Goku. Zycor's story initially starts with the Western Supreme Kai. Unlike the source material, this Kai did not die at the hands of Kid Buu. In this version, she ended up surviving, but ever since her encounter with Kid Buu, she has been plotting the revenge of her own misfortune. Instead of governing the universe like her title suggests, she intends on ruling it. In fact, in this adaptation, she is the mother of Frieza. And once she found out Frieza was killed by Goku, she followed him to the planet Yardrat, waited until he was asleep, took a blood sample, and thus Zycor was born. Being half Saiyan, half Kai, Zycor naturally has a high power level. Years after the defeat of Omega Shenron, two space pods arrive on Earth. These two pods hold the Western Supreme Kai and of course Zycor. Goten is the first to encounter Zycor, however he is easily defeated. The rest of the Z fighters feel the power and inevitably arrive on the battlefield. Still no match for the half Saiyan, half God, they are all wiped out. While the battle is going on, Gohan manages to turn into a Super Saiyan 4. However, it isn't until Kibito Kai, who is watching them from his own planet, decides to try and trap Zycor in the Z-Sword, as seemingly nothing else in the universe can contain his power. It took all their effort, but Gohan as a Super Saiyan 4 was able to hold him off enough to where Kibito Kai could seal him away, and that was the end of Zycor. Until we see this. Moving on to the next one, again from Dragon Ball AF, young Gigi takes the spotlight with his interpretation of the Son of Frieza. Eyes. This time around 3 years after the death of Omega Shenron, Eyes emerges destroying multiple planets unsatisfied. After hearing that his father had been defeated by a man on Earth known as Goku, he naturally comes to Earth. In this adaptation, Pan is now 16 and in high school, and Vegeta has learned how to become a Super Saiyan 3. Once Eyes arrives on Earth, he is quickly challenged by Vegeta. Vegeta, now having the ability to ascend to a Super Saiyan 3 at will, believes that his power is sufficient enough to take on the Son of Frieza. It is at this time Piccolo informs Gohan of the history of Frieza's race. It is said that immediately after being born, the people of Frieza's race cover themselves in thick ice, therefore entering a thawing period. The longer they are in this state, the more powerful they will become. Frieza's thawing period lasted a total of 5 years. King Cold's lasted 6. However, Eyes had a thawing period that lasted 50 years. Taking out the second to last spot, we have Rigor from Dragon Ball New Age. This story takes place after the events of Dragon Ball GT and in my opinion is most comparable to Dragon Ball AF. Rigor and Vegeta share the same father. However, in this version, King Vegeta wasn't a very faithful man, and while Vegeta was born to the Queen of all Saiyans, Rigor was born from an elite female Saiyan, making him the half-brother of Vegeta. Now, it just wouldn't be a Dragon Ball fan manga if someone didn't come to Earth seeking vengeance or revenge. However, Rigor's reason for coming to Earth is actually actually quite justifiable. His mother was killed right in front of him by the Prince of All Saiyans, Vegeta. Decades later, Rigor comes to Earth with the intention of returning the favor to Vegeta. Later revealing a Super Saiyan 5 transformation, it takes the combined efforts of Goku and Vegeta with the fusion of Gogeta to even stand a chance against this guy. Moving on to the final mention on this list, we have Elijah from Dragon Ball New Age. Taking place directly after the Rigor saga, Elijah is one of 4 Aspect Lords. He is the Aspect Lord of darkness, evil, negativity, and chaos. In Dragon Ball New Age specifically, Elijah watched over 3 of the 12 universes. At some point during the conception of the universe, he created a son in his image. This being was known as Majin Buu. All links to the respective mangas will be down below, and even though these are in no way official, a lot of thought and effort went into these creations, so if you want even more insight on these stories, make sure to support the authors down below. And I will see you in the next Dragon Ball Z video.